Hi, I'm Tiffani Patland, host of the Tiffani Talks Health and Wellness podcast, where I discuss tools, tips, and techniques to heal your mind, body, and soul. I am on a godly mission to heal the world.
Hello, everybody. How was your Valentine's Day? I know that was a couple days ago. I'm wondering if some of you may have celebrated this past weekend. I know it's a big commercial holiday and all that jazz, and I'm not somebody that likes to, I don't know, what do you call it, participate in all that. But at the same time, I do. Why? Because my kids love it. Why? Why not? I don't go out there and purchase, all of that unhealthy candy and stuff. I actually make my own. Last year for my Cosmic Sweets business, I actually made different assorted chocolates that were in heart shapes. They were really cute. I had my different kinds of chocolates, my raspberry, rose infused white chocolate. I make all sorts of different chocolates. I love dark chocolate because of the health benefits, the antioxidants and everything that's in there. So I'm not really one to purchase, to support that commercially, but I do like to celebrate those holidays in fun. Just like Christmas. Christmas, the whole idea of putting a Christmas tree in your home is actually a pagan ritual, which I was like blown away when I was learning about all that. They actually used to put apples and decorate the tree with apples because it was a way to just bring in nature from the outside because it was cold, if I'm remembering that correctly. But today's topic is all about how to excel from being unwell to happy, healthy, and whole. So I just wanted to see how your guys' Valentine's Day was. So feel free to let me know. I'd like to know, how was it? And, I do hope that if you did not have a date, I hope you pampered yourself. I hope you loved yourself because that's something that I find happens way too often, especially for birthdays, Valentine's Day, birthdays, anything where we expect, I think that's a huge key word. We expect things from other people to make us happy, and we shouldn't. Just like we put too much faith in the food industry to make sure that we are healthy with what we eat, with the foods that they provide. And I think it would do us best to provide a little bit more due diligence when it comes to our health and our happiness. So no matter what holiday it is, if there's no one there to shower with you with gifts, do it yourself. If you have always wanted flowers, send yourself some flowers. Buy yourself some gourmet chocolates from Cosmic Sweets, or do what you want to do, but let's stop waiting for other people to show us love and make us feel good about ourselves. That should come from us first and foremost. So there's that. And that all relates to health. Self-love is important, being healthy, and being happy. How can you be happy if you're not healthy? And when I talk about health, it's not just one thing. It's people think health and you think, oh, I need to eat right, or, oh, I need to exercise, but it's so much more than that. These days we hear people talking all about mental health. We are breaking that stigma. And people don't realize that every single person in this world, if you are a human being and you have a brain, you would benefit from focusing on your mental health. Everybody needs to focus on their mental health. Now, if you're in a good space and you feel like everything's flowing and everything's gravy, that's wonderful. I have those days. But then there's other days where something is awry and I feel like that's just my body bringing something else to the surface that I can pay attention to start healing or to honor my emotions with that and get rid of it, whatever it is for that. So there are ways to help you heal. And what I really want to start talking about is how I'm sure many of you can relate to stress, can't you? Being overwhelmed, full of just so much stress in your life, stressed out about this, stressed out about that. And I think that's when sometimes that's my thing. Those days when I'm not 100% well in my brain, it's because there's something that's out of balance. And that's where stress can come from. Stress is when things don't go right, or we have expectations, or things we're trying to get that control. We have to control something, and then we go crazy when it doesn't work out. And there's healing in that. We're all meant to live calmly and in a state of peace. And I am not there yet. I'm pretty close. I'm good. I do good, but there's always room for improvement. So something else that I bet you guys can relate to is, being upset about not being in control of your health. I know a lot of women out there are trying this diet, this diet, that diet. And then you wonder why is it not working? Why is this not working? Well, my perspective of that is because everybody's trying to do what everybody else is doing. And we were never meant to do that. We are all unique individuals. I say that all the time, and I'll keep saying it because it's very important for people to understand that we are all unique. So what will help us heal mentally will look differently from what I did to maybe what you need, because you are a different, unique individual. Somebody else might do better at swimming for their physical health, whereas that person is a great power lifter. It all depends, because we are all unique, and that's just the beauty of it. But the thing that's universal is that we all would benefit from focusing on our mental health, our physical health, and our spirituality. How about this? I bet you guys can relate to spending lots of money on medications because you're tired of your anxiety or the depression or any of those other mental illness labels affecting your life, controlling your life. So you're having to pour out money for all these medications. Not only that, there's all the side effects that come with that. Some that you may be aware of, some you may not even know are caused by your medications. And it's just becoming the new normal. And that just saddens my heart because I feel medications have their place when it comes to genetics. However, if you have mental illness that was manifested from any type of trauma or abuse that you endured in your life, you can heal from that in a holistic way. It's something that I did. I was put on Prozac on medication, but then I was taken off of it when I was 14 years old. It was a long time ago. And it just didn't do much for me. And I know that they say you could play with the dosages, but I personally am grateful that I never got hooked on those and that I was never on those because of everything that I recently experienced. I found a way to heal and to rise above my circumstances just by focusing on myself mentally, physically, and spiritually. And that's what I want to help everyone else out there to know, that you can do it. There's something to be said about religions. Every single religion out there has one thing in common that I have found, and that is that they all believe in a higher power. They all believe in a creator. They all believe that. And then as you go further down, there's all these differences. There's all these rules. They in Old Testament, New Testament, this, that, and the other. But we were all meant to live a life of peace. We were made in the image of God, our creator. So if we were made in the image of God, then I don't see God living stressed out, being crazy about their health, or having to fork out money on medications, dealing with all these side effects, wondering why your hair and nails won't grow, just tired of being overwhelmed, tired of feeling tired. Like, think about that. That's not very godly. That's not very heavenly. That's not very, it's not healthy. We were not meant to live this way. But life happens, and life has happened. Back in the day, we worked hard out in the fields, plowing, doing this and that, scraping and scrounging for food. But things have gotten more easier now, but they haven't necessarily been healthier. I lived my whole life being stressed out. not knowing about health, being in control of my health. I mentioned I was put on medications. I never really paid attention to if my hair or nails didn't grow. I never paid attention to my behavior. I never paid attention to pretty much anything. I pretty much just existed. For those of you that know my story, I just simply was not aware of where I was in life. I didn't even know who I was as a person. I didn't start really learning about who I was as a person till I'd say about when I started writing my book. Yeah, that wasn't that long ago. I launched my book in February of 2021. I started writing it in 2019. So I think in 2019 is when I really started. Actually, I started because it's when I started honing in on my mental health. I had already been really great with my physical health and nutrition, working out and learning about all that. And then I got into the mental health, and the spirituality piece is the last one. And it's just been evolving and growing. It seems like the spirituality piece is almost bigger than the other two. It's crazy, but it's fascinating and I love it. Because in my life, I was mentally ill and I was oblivious. I didn't even know that back then. I don't think mental health was even a word that was really used or it was common. Nobody knew. Everybody just looked at children as problem children. They're being wild, they're being crazy, they're being rude, they're being disrespectful. And nobody was out there trying to figure out why. There's always a reason why. And people were not figuring that out. They just weren't there yet. I myself was consuming the typical American diet. Who knows how that was affecting me mentally, physically, and spiritually. But there's truth there, scientific evidence that what you eat does affect you mentally, physically, and spiritually. Now, if food affects you positively, that's up to you to learn and identify and find out what that is. And you can actually do that by having an ALCAT test performed or a food sensitivity test performed to find out your very own unique menu of foods that your body thrives on. Instead of just trying this, that, and the other, getting rashes, not knowing this, that, and the other. I mean, it's crazy. I was also disconnected spiritually. It's like I didn't believe in a God because it was like, if there's a God, he sucks because why would he allow these horrific things to happen to me in life? I didn't ask for this. I was innocent. And then it was just like, there's no way a God exists because if God is so loving in all these things, he wouldn't allow these things to happen to us. But now that I've grown so much, I finally see. And I know that's so cliche, right? I was blind and now I finally see. But OMG, it is true. I see things from a spiritual viewpoint now, and it's incredible. I look back at my entire life and I see it with a new, fresh, renewed set of eyes. And being spiritually healthy matters. And I feel like that's the missing piece that people are not putting together. It's always mind and body. Now they're doing the mind and body. Before it was, I feel like, just body. And then they're like, oh, mind and body. And it's just like, okay, now we need to get that spirituality piece in there. It's important. And I'll share a little bit of research with you here soon about that. I did not know what it meant to be healthy. Can you relate to that? I didn't know what it meant to be healthy. To me, being healthy meant that I just wasn't ill, not that I was as nutritionally healthy as I could be, that I was physically fit as I could be, that I was mentally stable as I could be, or that I was spiritually connected as I could be. I didn't know that. I didn't have a clue. So if you yourself are like, wow, I didn't know that either, then stick around because I want to help you out because there is a way. You have power in you. Remember, you are made in the image of God. And whatever religion you are, you agree there's a creator up there unless you're an atheist or anyone else that doesn't believe in that. But you do. You have the power in you to heal. And it comes from our, spirituality. What I really learned from my whole entire life with everything was that after experiencing such healing and breakthrough in my life, what I really learned was that I now know that health really is what you make of it. And that's really, really important. I want to share with you the actual definition of health. There's 3 of them. The first one says health is the overall condition of an organism at a given time. Organisms are alive. So a living organism could be us, it could be a plant, a bug. Okay. Definition number 2, soundness, especially of body or mind. See, where's the spirituality piece? Freedom from disease or abnormality. So again, they are excluding spirituality, but at least they're including the mind. But it's more to that. Health really is about everything. And then the third definition says a condition of optimal well-being. And I feel like that leads into the holistic definition, which is where holistic means to treat your body as a whole, not just the symptoms or just one thing. And that's what I did for myself. I treated my entire body as a whole in every way. And that's when the natural side effects are just healing in all areas of your life, because it's really hard to identify if you're taking medications, if you're eating a typical American diet that has full of pesticides and processed foods and high sugars that are hidden in the ingredients. You're not taking care of yourself mentally, or maybe you are, but those are medications. So those are coming with the side effects, and you're disconnected spiritually. So you don't know who you are as a person. You don't have self-love. Maybe you're self-harming. You're always stressed out. You can't stand, that you're out of shape or your weight or this, that, and the other. Does that ring a bell? Do you resonate with that? If you do, I just want to tell you, there's hope for you. You can heal. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze really quick. Don't want to hold those in. All right. So now the research. What I want to share with you goes into the spirituality piece. According to Dr. Joe Rubino's research, 85% of the world's population are affected by low self-esteem. And that low self-esteem can be elevated through spirituality, through your spiritual health. They are linked. Per the Association of American Medical Colleges, spirituality may be a dynamic in a patient's understanding of their disease. An understanding of the patient's spirituality is integral to whole patient care. So you see, there is information out there that talks about the importance of spirituality. So why isn't it talked about more? Spirituality is recognized as a factor that contributes to health in many persons. The concept of spirituality is found in all cultures and societies. It is expressed in an individual's search for ultimate meaning through participation in religion and or belief in God, family, naturalism, rationalism, humanism, and the arts. All of these factors can influence how patients and healthcare professionals perceive health and illness and how they interact with one another. Peer-reviewed journals show correlations between spirituality and suicide attempt. This one's huge. Completed suicide and attitudes toward suicide are consistent with those found for depression, self-esteem, and hope. Those who are depressed, without hope, and with low self-esteem are at greater risk for committing suicide. More than 700,000 people die to suicide every single year. For every suicide, there are many more people who attempt suicide. A prior suicide attempt is the single most important risk factor for suicide in the general population. Now, this statistic is just disheartening. Suicide is the fourth leading cause of death in 15 to 19-year-olds, and that is not even the youngest child. I've seen on the news about a 10-year-old, children as young as 10 years old that are committing suicide because of all the crap that they are enduring. And I don't know those details, but I would guess that they have something to do with being bullied in school and stuff that they're dealing with at home. It could be abuse. It could be neglect. There could be a multitude of things happening, and this poor child fell through the cracks and nobody was there to help them. But this 10-year-old that I'm referring to, it's not the only youngest person out there. But Suicide is the fourth leading cause of deaths in 15 to 19-year-olds. 77% of global suicides occur in low and middle income countries. Ingestion of pesticide, hanging, and firearms are among the most common methods of suicide globally. So, now that you know how important the spirituality piece is in there, how do you go about getting from unwell to happy, healthy, and whole? It's very simple. I would like to challenge you to create your very own trifecta. And what that means is every single day, do something, pick something, choose something to focus on your mental health, your physical health, which comes in two parts, your fitness as well as your nutrition, and then your spirituality, your spiritual health. Do something spiritually. And this, again, this can look different for everybody. That's the beauty of it. So if you really want to take control of your life, you must focus in those three areas. Now, if you need tips, like ideas of what you can do, I do have a list in my book, Unlocking Your Ability to Heal. You are welcome to purchase that. Just, visit Amazon and you'll see that there. I'll put a link in the description box for that. Or you may register on my website, TiffaniPatlin.com, and you will receive that as my free gift to you for registering on my website. And the whole point in doing that is that way you can be the first to know when I roll out new courses, which I have in my mind to do. Like I'm currently hosting a self-love challenge in my private Facebook group called the Unlocking Your Ability to Heal community. It's still not too late to join. It's free. It's just something that I wanted to do to help encourage other people out there to start having love for themselves. So you are more than welcome to join my group. Again, I will have a link in the description box for that. And even though it's the 16th, you can still participate. You can do 3 or 4 or a whole week and do all of the tasks. Or just pick and choose the ones that you want. But ideally, I really recommend for people to follow through the entire 28 days, doing every single task, because if you do those tasks, some are things where I'm asking you to go do something. Some are simply journaling. Some are envisioning. So they're really different and they're for different reasons, but they're all, enveloped in self-love. So it's not too late. You're able to join. Those who participate the most will be entered into a raffle to win a self-love box from me with just a couple little things in there to help you grow in your self-love. And again, this is free. It's just something special I wanted to do. But I'm planning on rolling out a self-love course that will be a paid course that you can do on your own. I also have other courses lined up and different things like that. So if you want to be the first to know, please register your email on my website, TiffaniPatlin.com. And like I said, you will get that free gift, that sheet where it shows everything to help you choose something for your mental, physical, and spiritual health so you can start your very own trifecta. Now, I would not recommend when it comes to your physical health to just focus on nutrition and not fitness. Don't focus on fitness and not nutrition. They go hand in hand. I don't recommend you trying to think about being skinny or thin. That does not equate to health. I just want you to just choose you. Choose you and say, you know what? It's 2022. I've lived my life this way for the past some odd years. Now's my time. Now is my time to care about me. Now is my time to care about my health. What do I need to get rid of, or what can I do? How can I elevate mentally? How can I elevate myself physically and nutritionally? How can I become more spiritually connected? What can I do? And if you are somebody that really wants to do this, if you are fired up and you're like, yes, Tiffani, yes, you're speaking my language. I want help. I want to do this. Then if that sounds like you, then as a health and wellness coach, I want you to know that I help women like you that are where I once was, thinking that we were trusting this person, trusting that person, thinking all these things. And it's just like, whoa, wait a minute. There's more to hear than what I'm seeing. There's a way to live healthy. There's a way to be free. There's a way to elevate and rise and actually be happy. There is a way. And I just want to be that person for you that helps you to discover your very own unique path to your healing and to your happiness. Now, if that sounds like you, I invite you to schedule a complimentary session with me. I will have my Calendly link in the description box for you to do that. Remember, what I do may not work for you, which is why I meet you where you are at. Together, we can design your very own unique path to your healing and happiness. And that is what I want to help you do. So you can go and excel from unwell to happy, healthy, and whole. And as we come to the end of our show, I really want to say a special thank you to everybody listening and watching today's episode. Please comment with what resonated with you. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you. Feel free to invite your friends and family to like and follow on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. You can also listen at your leisure on all major podcast distributions. My theme for 2022 is to spread the word. So you can help me do that just by sharing this message. And today I leave you with this quote. The preservation of health is easier than the cure of the disease. And what that means to me, and that's by B.J. Palmer, by the way, and what that means to me, that preserving your health means get into that healthy fit status and preserve it, maintain it. It's kind of like those who work out and exercise. You know, it's when your body is nice and healthy and fit, it's easier to maintain it than it is to try to go from, overweight and unhealthy to healthy. Doesn't mean it's not impossible. They're just saying that this way is easier. So the preservation of health is easier than trying to cure a disease. And it's true. So let's get healthy. And I'm rooting you on. I'm here for you. I am your biggest cheerleader. So that's it for me. I'm Tiffani Patlin, signing off until the next episode. We'll see you later, guys. Thanks. Bye.